In a shocking turn of events, Joe Rogan has stepped forward to defend Candace Owens while simultaneously leaking what insiders are calling Erika Kirk's secret Delan agreement, allegedly designed to protect the identity of Charlie Kirk's real shooter. The revelation has sent shockwaves through the public, leaving social media, news outlets, and fans reeling. Joe, known for his fearless approach to controversial topics, didn't hold back, revealing details that have been hidden from the public eye for months. During a tense live stream, Joe exposed communications and documents that suggest Erika Kirk may have actively worked to cover up the involvement of another party in Charlie's death. Candace Owens, who has been tirelessly investigating the circumstances, was publicly defended by Joe as he confirmed the authenticity of the evidence she presented. Together, their revelations painted a picture of deception, hidden agendas, and manipulation that had previously gone unnoticed. Viewers described the moment Joe revealed Erika's secret deal as explosive. Social media erupted with clips, memes, and discussions dissecting every facial expression, tone, and word. Erika's calm, composed image, long maintained in the public eye, seemed to crack in response to these new disclosures. For the first time, the public was getting a glimpse of a story far more complicated and sinister than previously reported. The big question now is, what exactly did Erika Kirk do to protect Charlie Kirk's real shooter? And how far does this cover-up go? Joe Rogan's revelations promised to shake the foundations of everything we thought we knew about this case, exposing secrets that were meant to stay buried. The atmosphere around Charlie Kirk's case had always been tense, but the latest revelations have taken it to a whole new level. Joe Rogan, a figure known for his unfiltered and fearless commentary, entered the conversation with explosive information that immediately sent shockwaves across social media. In a high-stakes live stream, he defended Candace Owens, who had been investigating the circumstances surrounding Charlie's death, and simultaneously leaked documents suggesting that Erika Kirk had orchestrated a secret deal to protect the identity of the real shooter. The broadcast began with Joe contextualizing the situation, explaining how Candace had uncovered details that exposed inconsistencies in Erika's narrative. He described the evidence with meticulous attention to detail, presenting documents, messages, and financial records that raised serious questions about Erika's actions following Charlie's death. For viewers, it was immediately clear that this was not a speculative discussion. It was a hard-hitting, evidence-driven revelation that challenged the public perception of Erika Kirk. Joe detailed how Erika's secret agreement appeared designed to shield the shooter from legal and public scrutiny. He emphasized that the documents showed a clear pattern of communication, financial arrangements, and coordination that suggested deliberate concealment. Candace Owens' previous revelations had hinted at deception, but Joe's confirmation added an additional layer of credibility, showing that multiple sources corroborated the information. Throughout the live stream, Joe remained composed but firm, using his signature analytical style to break down the evidence point by point. He explained each document, highlighting timestamps, sender information, and the sequence of events that indicated Erika's active role in protecting the shooter. Observers noted that his calm delivery contrasted sharply with the explosive nature of the revelations, making the information even more impactful for viewers. Social media reaction was immediate. Clips of Joe revealing Erika's secret deal went viral within hours. Fans, analysts, and journalists dissected every frame, scrutinizing his tone, gestures, and the evidence itself. The combination of Joe's credibility, Candace Owens' prior reporting, and the newly leaked documents created a perfect storm, making the story impossible to ignore. Behind the scenes, sources revealed that Joe had coordinated with independent investigators to verify the documents before going public. This extra layer of validation ensured that the claims were solid, reducing the risk of misinformation. Friends close to Joe described him as meticulous and methodical, spending hours cross-referencing each piece of evidence to ensure accuracy before revealing it on a live stream with millions of viewers. Erika Kirk, according to insiders, was caught off guard by the revelations. For months, she had maintained a narrative that positioned herself as a grieving widow and the protector of Charlie's legacy. Joe's disclosure, however, painted a very different picture, one in which Erika was actively involved in concealing critical details, potentially protecting someone who played a direct role in Charlie's death. Her carefully curated public image began to unravel in real time as viewers processed the documents Joe presented. During the live stream, Joe also emphasized the ethical implications of the revelations. He pointed out that covering up the identity of a shooter is not just a legal issue. It has moral ramifications that affect the victim's family, friends, and the wider public. He highlighted how transparency and accountability are essential, especially in high-profile cases, and warned that the continued concealment of information could have lasting consequences for everyone involved. Candace Owens' role was also central to the narrative. Joe praised her for her investigative rigor, noting that without her tireless work, the truth might have remained hidden. Her initial exposure of Erika's actions had laid the groundwork, and Joe's corroboration through leaked documents amplified the credibility of the story. Together, they had created a scenario where deception could no longer remain unseen. The live stream included detailed breakdowns of communications between Erika and her associates, financial transactions that appeared designed to protect the shooter, and inconsistencies in her public statements. Joe explained how these pieces fit together, showing a deliberate pattern of behavior that contradicted Erika's public image. Analysts on social media highlighted the significance of these findings, emphasizing that the documents revealed more than just oversights. They indicated intentional action to obscure the truth. As Joe progressed through the evidence, Erika's supporters began to express disbelief online, attempting to defend her narrative. However, the combination of Candace's prior revelations and Joe's new information made these defenses increasingly difficult to maintain. Observers described the live stream as a turning point, shifting public perception and casting Erika in a much more questionable light than before. Throughout the hour-long segment, Joe remained calm, letting the documents and communications speak for themselves. He allowed the evidence to lead the conversation, ensuring that viewers could draw their own conclusions while presenting the facts in a clear, organized manner. The transparency of his approach contrasted with Erika's apparent attempts to control information, highlighting the stark difference between public accountability and private concealment. By the end of Part 1, viewers were left with a clear understanding. Erika Kirk's role in protecting the shooter was no longer just speculation. The combination of Candace Owens' prior investigations and Joe Rogan's leaked documents created a compelling evidence-based narrative that demanded answers. Erika's public image, long maintained as composed and grieving, had been challenged in a way that made continued deception increasingly untenable. The impact extended beyond the livestream itself. News outlets, social media analysts, and independent commentators began dissecting the evidence, debating the implications, and speculating on the legal and moral consequences for Erika Kirk. For viewers, the revelations were not just shocking, they were transformative, reshaping the story of Charlie Kirk's death and the individuals involved. Part 1 concluded with a stark realization: the truth, when exposed with credible evidence, has the power to dismantle carefully constructed narratives. Erika's carefully managed public persona had cracked under the weight of Joe Rogan's revelations, leaving her vulnerable to scrutiny, public criticism, potential legal consequences. The aftermath of Joe Rogan's explosive live stream defending Candace Owens and exposing Erika Kirk's secret deal sent shockwaves across social media, mainstream media, and the political commentary landscape. Clips of Joe methodically laying out the evidence went viral almost immediately, sparking heated debates and dividing audiences. Viewers were shocked not only by the revelation itself, but by the level of detail Joe had brought forward, corroborating Candace Owens' prior investigation with documents, messages, and insider testimonies. Erika Kirk's carefully cultivated public image as a grieving widow and protector of Charlie Kirk's legacy was rapidly unraveling. Sources close to her revealed that she had been in a state of constant stress following the livestream, reviewing every social media post, news article, and leaked clip that circulated. Her team of legal advisors reportedly warned her to maintain strict silence, fearing that any statement could be used against her in potential legal investigations or in media scrutiny. Yet, her emotional responses suggested that the mounting pressure was difficult to contain. Joe Rogan, throughout the broadcast, emphasized that the purpose of revealing Erika's secret deal was accountability, not personal attack. He explained that the leaked communications demonstrated intentional concealment regarding Charlie Kirk's real shooter and that this cover-up could have serious moral and legal implications. "It's not about shaming someone," Joe stated. "It's about the facts. People need to know what really happened, and actions have consequences." Social media erupted with reactions. Analysts, journalists, and fans dissected every frame, every statement, and every reaction from Erika Kirk. Online commentators highlighted the contrast between Joe's composed, factual presentation and Erika's increasingly tense demeanor. Memes, hashtags, and debates exploded across platforms, with users analyzing Erika's body language, her verbal deflections, and the inconsistencies highlighted by Joe's evidence. Candace Owens' role in the ongoing investigation was further reinforced. Insider sources revealed that she had been meticulously compiling evidence for months, piecing together messages, financial records, and witness accounts that suggested Erika Kirk's direct involvement in covering up critical information. Joe Rogan's confirmation of these findings added an extra layer of credibility, making it clear that multiple independent sources corroborated the allegations. The livestream also revealed new details about Erika's secret agreement. According to Joe, the documents included signed communications, emails, and financial transactions that indicated deliberate actions to shield the real shooter. By presenting these in chronological order, Joe demonstrated how the concealment was orchestrated over time, contradicting Erika's public claims of transparency and protection for the family. The public response was instantaneous. Analysts noted that the combination of Candace's investigative work and Joe's revelation created a scenario in which Erika's narrative could no longer withstand scrutiny. Discussions erupted around the morality of hiding information, the potential legal consequences of the secret deal, and the broader implications for the family and the public. Erika's supporters tried to defend her, claiming that she acted out of grief or confusion. However, the meticulously documented evidence presented by Joe left little room for ambiguity. Each document, message, and transaction highlighted a pattern of calculated behavior rather than accidental omission, challenging the idea that Erika's actions were motivated solely by emotional distress. Meanwhile, independent investigators weighed in, analyzing the financial transactions, message threads, and timing of Erika's communications. They highlighted how the alignment of multiple data points supported Joe Rogan's claim that Erika had actively participated in the concealment. Observers emphasized that the cumulative evidence was far too consistent to dismiss, further intensifying the pressure on Erika. During the live stream, Joe also addressed public curiosity about Candace Owens' prior investigation. He praised her diligence, noting that without her tireless research, these revelations might never have come to light. He pointed out that her ability to gather credible evidence had laid the foundation for exposing Erika's actions and that her work deserved recognition for its accuracy and impact. The live stream sparked a larger conversation about accountability, transparency, and ethics in high-profile cases. Analysts and commentators debated whether Erika's concealment could lead to legal consequences or damage her credibility permanently. Public discourse focused on the tension between personal grief and public responsibility, highlighting how actions taken in private can have far-reaching consequences once revealed. Insiders described Erika as increasingly isolated, struggling to manage her public image and respond to the growing scrutiny. Reports suggested that the emotional toll was significant, with constant monitoring of media coverage, frantic calls to advisors, and visible anxiety during subsequent appearances. Observers noted that her reactions seemed more reactive than calculated, suggesting that Joe's revelations had disrupted the narrative she had carefully managed for months. By the end of part 2, it was evident that Erika Kirk's situation had become increasingly precarious. Joe Rogan's evidence, combined with Candace Owens' previous investigation, had dismantled the public perception of Erika as a passive, grieving widow. Instead, she was now seen as an active participant in concealing crucial details about Charlie Kirk's death. The stage was set for Part 3 to reveal the full fallout, the broader public reaction, and the consequences Erika might face as the story continued to unfold. The fallout from Joe Rogan's explosive livestream had reached a fever pitch by the time Part 3 of this saga began. Erika Kirk, previously seen as the grieving widow maintaining a carefully controlled public image, was now under immense scrutiny. Joe's revelations, confirming Candace Owens' previous investigation and exposing Erika's secret deal to protect Charlie Kirk's real shooter, had transformed public perception almost overnight. Social media, mainstream news outlets, and independent commentators were relentless in dissecting every detail. Erika's responses in the days following the live stream were limited, which only amplified speculation. Sources close to her confirmed she was overwhelmed, spending hours with legal advisors and communications experts attempting to control the narrative. But the documentation Joe revealed, including emails, signed agreements, financial transfers, and witness statements, left little room for public defense. Each piece of evidence corroborated Candace Owens' previous claims, painting a picture of deliberate concealment rather than accidental omission. During the Part 3 discussion, Joe emphasized the ethical implications of Erika's actions. "This isn't just about public perception," he stated. "The concealment of Charlie's real shooter affects justice, accountability, and trust. Actions have consequences, and hiding the truth only delays them." His calm, authoritative delivery contrasted sharply with Erika's increasingly tense posture during past interviews, making the revelations even more impactful to viewers. The social media reaction was immediate and intense. Clips of Joe presenting the documents circulated widely, generating millions of views within hours. Hashtags related to Erika's concealment and Candace Owens' investigation trended across platforms, while analysts dissected both the evidence and Erika's prior statements for inconsistencies. Observers noted that the combination of Joe's credibility and Candace's investigative rigor created a scenario in which Erika's public narrative could no longer withstand scrutiny. The livestream also revealed further details of Erika's secret deal. Documents indicated that she had coordinated with certain parties to shield the shooter from both public and legal exposure. Financial arrangements and timed communications suggested a premeditated effort to control information, contradicting Erika's previous statements about protecting the family. Joe meticulously walked through each document, providing timestamp sender and recipient details, and context that made it impossible to dismiss the evidence as coincidental or misinterpreted. Commentators and journalists quickly weighed in, emphasizing the magnitude of these revelations. Many highlighted that the leaked documents went beyond speculation, offering verifiable proof that Erika Kirk had been actively involved in concealing crucial information. Analysts noted that these findings could have serious legal implications, especially if authorities deemed the concealment intentional and obstructive. Erika's supporters attempted to defend her by claiming she acted out of grief or confusion. But Joe's detailed breakdown of evidence countered these arguments at every turn. His methodical approach left viewers with a clear understanding of the discrepancy between Erika's public statements and the documented actions. The contrast was stark and undeniable, highlighting a calculated effort to manipulate public perception while shielding the real shooter. Meanwhile, Candace Owens' work was celebrated for its accuracy and persistence. Sources revealed that her investigative efforts had laid the foundation for Joe's confirmation, proving the effectiveness of collaborative, evidence-driven inquiry. Together, they had exposed a network of deception that had remained hidden for months. Forcing the truth into the public eye, the broader public reaction extended beyond social media. Podcasts, news networks, and independent reporting outlets analyzed the documents, the timeline, and Erika's previous statements. Experts debated potential legal consequences, the ethical ramifications of her concealment, and the impact on Charlie Kirk's legacy. The story quickly became a case study in accountability, transparency, and the consequences of attempting to manipulate truth in high-profile situations. As Part 3 progressed, Erika's options appeared increasingly limited. Her public silence, previously an attempt to maintain composure, was now interpreted as tacit acknowledgement of the mounting evidence against her. Meanwhile, Joe's meticulous presentation left no gaps, showing that Erika's secret deal was neither accidental nor benign. The public could see a clear pattern: deliberate actions taken to obscure critical details surrounding Charlie Kirk's death. By the conclusion of the segment, it was evident that Joe Rogan had not only defended Candace Owens' investigative work but had amplified the consequences of Erika Kirk's actions. The combination of public exposure, viral social media reaction, and detailed evidence created an unprecedented level of scrutiny. Erika's once controlled narrative had collapsed, leaving her vulnerable to legal, ethical, and reputational repercussions. The live stream ended with Joe reinforcing a key message: accountability is not optional, especially when dealing with matters of life, death, and public trust. Transparency and truth are essential, and those who attempt to conceal reality will ultimately face exposure. The segment left millions of viewers with a stark understanding of the consequences of deception, the power of investigative diligence, and the unrelenting demand for truth in high-profile cases. The revelations about Erika Kirk's secret deal and Joe Rogan's defense of Candace Owens have shocked the public, exposing actions that many never imagined. This story is a stark reminder that attempts to hide the truth, especially when lives and justice are at stake, can unravel under scrutiny. Candace Owens' investigative work and Joe Rogan's meticulous verification have combined to reveal a side of the case that demands accountability, transparency, and public attention. If you want to stay fully updated on this story, follow every new development and see exclusive evidence and insider information as it emerges. Now is the time to pay close attention. This saga is far from over, and the next revelations could have major implications for Erika Kirk, the public's understanding of Charlie Kirk's death, and ongoing investigations. By staying informed, you'll get access to verified updates, expert analyses, and insider perspectives that break down the complex web of events in a clear, understandable way. Don't miss a single detail as the story continues to unfold. Every document, message, and revelation brings the truth closer to the surface, holding those responsible accountable for their actions. Follow closely to see how Erika Kirk's secret deal, Candace Owens' investigation, and Joe Rogan's leak reshape public perception, expose hidden truths, and shine a light on a case that was meant to remain hidden.